Hey guys, it's Victoria and welcome back to FemmeHead. Today is going to be a part 2 to a video I made about 2 weeks ago. That video was all about things to consider when you're thinking about getting off of your hormonal birth control, and today is kind of the after you have quit, some things that you can do or things you should think about. And this is just all from my experience and what I've learned over the years. It's no like this is how you have to do it sort of guidelines. It's just some things to consider, some advice I have, what I would tell my younger self going through it, and I thought it was worthwhile to share with you today. So the first thing is, if you haven't figured it out already, you're going to want to consider what you're going to do for birth control in the future now that you've quit the pill or your IUD taken out, stopped using your NuvaRing, whatever it may be. You need to consider what you're going to do in the future, even if you're not in need of birth control at this time. It's nice to be prepared so that when the time comes down the road, you're not like, oh crap, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to use, I'm just gonna go back on whatever it was I was on. Regardless of what you do decide on for your birth control, I highly recommend learning how to chart your cycle, even considering learning something like the sympto-thermal method, because not only can it be used as birth control in the future, but it gives you so much insight into what's going on with your body and your cycle, especially when you're coming off of birth control. Hormonal birth control, I should say. You might notice that your cycle returns to normal right away. That's what happened with me. Or you might notice that your cycle kind of goes haywire when you get off the pill or whatever it is, and that's okay as well. Don't freak out. I know a number of people that had wonky cycles coming off of their birth control, their hormonal birth control, but after, a couple of months or 8 months or a year, it got back to where it was normal and regular again. Your body needs to rebalance itself depending on what your cycle was like before, how long you were on birth control, what kind of birth control you were on. That all kind of dictates what your cycle might do afterwards, and your body just needs time to figure itself out and what's going on, to get rid of all those synthetic hormones that have been kind of orchestrating your cycle for the past couple months or past couple years or decade, however long it's been, and it needs to figure out how to do that again for itself, and it will. It might need a little bit of help, but it'll figure it out. So let's go through a couple things that I recommend doing now that you've quit your birth control, or if you're thinking about it and you're watching this video, you can also do a lot of these things now. So like I said before, I do so recommend learning how to chart your cycle because of just the insight it gives you into your body and your cycle as well. If you're charting your cycle, you can watch your cycle come back and return to normal. You can see if you are having regular cycles or if they're irregular. And like I said already, you can see if you are ovulating or not, which is it's a very important piece of the puzzle to having a regular cycle is ovulation. And if you're not ovulating, that is going to create a lot of problems. And if something is going on, you can see kind of what's going on and you can figure it out, or you can take that information and give it to a doctor or some sort of person that can help you figure out what's going on and how you can fix that. So a quick little plug for myself: if you want to learn how to chart your cycle, I teach a course called Chart Your Cycle. The next one starts on September 12th. So I teach you how to chart your cycle, the sympto-thermal method, and it's just a great foundation to begin charting, and is for those new to the fam world. So I'll leave the information for that in the description box. Go check it out if you're curious. One great thing you can do, and hopefully you have been doing already, is educating yourself. While there is so much great information out there online and you can learn a lot of stuff on the internet, I like to read books a lot, and I have placed a couple right here of my favorites behind my coffee cup. I will put some of my recommendations in the description box, and I've also made a couple videos about some of my favorite cycle-related books, which you can go check out as well. Taking Charge of Your Fertility is like the fam Bible, and I recommend that to anyone who is getting off of hormonal birth control or not on birth control. Period Repair Manual is a great one for hormonal imbalances and figuring out what might be going on and what you can do to fix that issue. Optimized Woman is one that gave me a deeper understanding of my cycle and my phases, the phases of my menstrual cycle, beyond just what was going on anatomically, but more of like a mental aspect of what my strengths and weaknesses were. And another fun one that I think, is up here is called My Little Red Book. And that one is just a book filled with first period stories. And it's amazing because it shows how we're all connected by this shared experience, but at the same time, how it can differ so much person to person. There are a lot of people out there that don't like to hear that what they are eating, drinking, and doing to their body affects not only how they feel, but also how well their body functions. And that includes our menstrual cycles as well. And I am not perfect. I'm so far from perfect with all of this. Like, I do not drink enough water. I eat junk food. I don't exercise enough. But I have been able to see how this affects my cycle depending on the things I'm doing that month or not doing that month. And I can see a clear difference from the months where I'm very good and eating healthy and drinking water and exercising to the months I'm not doing any of those things. So I kind of have a couple guidelines, and they are more water, less sugar, more fruits and vegetables, and less processed foods. And these all seem like common sense things, but I need to be reminded of them every now and then. It is amazing how much these just couple things affect me and affect my cycle. Another thing that kind of goes along with that, which I'm not very good at, is moving your body and exercise, even if it's just going on a walk, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, riding your bike instead of driving your car. I don't have a car, so I get to be mobile in that sense on like a bicycle or a longboard, but taking care of our physical health, just like eating well, is important, and eating well is part of your physical health, but you get what I'm saying. Another thing that can get kind of glossed over because we're so focused on getting our cycle back to normal, making sure we understand how to chart our cycle, is our mental and emotional health, which is such an important aspect of our menstrual cycles. While I felt light years better after getting off the pill, there was probably still about a year afterwards where I struggled with anxiety and panic attacks and all that fun stuff. And so I had to learn how to manage that stress and that anxiety myself. And everyone is completely different when it comes to mental health, and so what works for me might not work for you, but journaling is such a great thing for me. And when things get really like hairy and hectic, meditation is great. Exercise, spending time with others, there's so many different things. You just kind of have to recognize and learn yourself what works for you, but just be aware of and make sure you aren't forgetting about your mental and emotional health, because that is very important to coming off of hormonal birth control, because hormones impact everything. They are in control of everything in our lives, and when you stop taking those synthetic hormones, your body can go a little bit hairy. And while a lot of people do feel so much better, it's just important to be aware of it. I believe I said this in the last video, but be patient and kind with your body. Our bodies are not out to get us. Our periods are not out to make us miserable. Our bodies are part of us, and they are designed to be healthy and function correctly, and that's what they want to do. But sometimes they just need a little bit of help, and especially everything we're throwing at them in this day and age. You just have to be like, okay, I understand you're trying, body. I appreciate that. What can I do to help you? Instead of being like, you suck, why can't you do what you're supposed to do? Kind of a bit of a mindset shift, but just be patient and loving with yourself. So if things are out of whack for a while, stay calm, be patient, search for your answers, and do what you can to help your body rebalance and heal itself. There's a siren going by. Okay guys, that's what I have to say today. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's content. Don't forget to subscribe to FemmeHead for more of moi, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!